Welcome, everybody. My name is Julie. I hope all is well with everyone. Today, I'm going to go a little bit into details on how we got to this point of building. I'm going to start off with the beginning, which is the most important part, how we completed the first floor for almost 10 million Jamaican dollars, 9.8, roughly around there. I can't find all my receipts, but I could be short a few here and there. But anyways, nevertheless, I'm going to tell you guys that when I tell you that it can be done, it can be done. I know this day it's a little bit more pricey on materials, and so is the labor. And that meaning if you do use a contractor, you're going to pay way more money. I did not use a contractor. I use regular tradesmen. And I stand by it because I knew that we could save some money in that area. A lot of people will not do what we have done, but that was the only way we could have got it done without have to borrow any money, asking for any loan from any banks or friends. We did it on our own, both of us together, no one else. The support from family wasn't there. The support from friends wasn't there, which we didn't have much of that anyways. But the fact is that we had each other. We went ahead and did it. Building was a little tedious for the simple fact that we had to trust people even when we wasn't there. Sometimes it was okay. Sometimes it was the biggest mistake you could ever make in your life. People think you exaggerate when you said, when you have someone working on your home and you get comfortable with them and you give them that opportunity to take advantage of you, oh, they sure do take advantage of you. Sometimes it's not even about just the money. It's about the cutting corners you have to pay attention to make it easier for themselves, not realizing that they're also, putting your structure at risk. Quality work could be poor if you're not around. Also, you have a few things you have to think about. As far as, I wish I'd have did it different still, but a few things I think about was my plumbing. I wish I was there paying attention to the plumbing. They did mess up on the plumbing, but that could be rectified. That wasn't no big deal. The steel work was done because I knew what was going on. When the roofing was going on, I tried to get pictures and also people to look over it. I did not know what was really going on all the time. But the good thing was I did have my brother-in-law, he was the main one for that floor that did most of the work. So I trusted him. So I kind of was comfortable to a degree, but I wish I was there most of the time when stuff was being bought or picked out or materials. Honestly, we did not do that. But on the second floor and the third floor, that was different. I try to be hands-on there all the time. I've learned from the first floor. To be honest, we was going to stop at the first floor, but when we saw the potential, I kept on going. Anyway, back to the main part downstairs. Why I said it can be built for that price is because of my receipts that I've looked over. The timing might be different, so a little bit off because of the prices of material now compared to then. As far as the integrity of my building, I know it's solid because I could tell by the structure, the amount of steel I bought, how it was done, and I had more than one person with the knowledge. It wasn't just people that was just, coming up there, so I knew. But like I said before, everything can be done in Jamaica if you try to be involved in your project. You can get a contractor. That do cost more money. Like I said, I don't know how much they go for because I wasn't going to use one. I did know one, so every now and then he comes around and he didn't charge us anything. He will look over stuff, which it was my brother-in-law, his, good friend or whatever, making sure everything was okay. So yes, somehow I did have an input of a contractor in it, but not doing the work itself. More like advising at times. When it came down to the electrical, I did use a proper licensed electrician. This man worked for JPS, so I was aware, and he did everything that was needed to get the job done. I also would tell anyone, if you're building, remember now, this does not have anything to do with the land. This is just fully structural. I'm not showing you inside of the first floor because I can't. It's fully furnished. We're already living in it. But how you see upstairs is similar to it. It's no different from what's downstairs. Except, that's a lie. The third floor is a little different. The layout is different. And the kitchen area is a little bit different in living upstairs. Because what we do plan to do with this second and third floor, to be exact, they're going to be separated. It's built a certain way where downstairs can be separated. I could have a 1-bedroom downstairs and a 2-bedroom apartment, and that's the intention. After we started on the second floor, we realized it was too much space. It wasn't needed, and we have kids that's not planning to come home. So I look at it like it's an opportunity. It's a win-win for us to turn it into an Airbnb. Not only that, with the intention of eventually putting in a pool, garden and all of that good stuff. And I have my little, my little spot that I'm going to be cooking for my guests every now and then. I just see that it could be something that to look forward to, more like it, in my latter part of my years as well. But anyways, nevertheless, get back to it. The second floor, also, I have those receipts, but I don't have everything here in the States with me to look over that to tell you what that second floor fully costs, and I will. And the third, we could have actually finished the second floor with that money that we started the third floor with, but we intended to go ahead because I needed that outdoor space, which you guys can see on that third floor. If you look keenly, I know the video is a little mixed up because I realized at the last minute, but I can't turn it around right now where I'm at in it. And not only that, if you look on that third floor, you'll see that I started an outside kitchen with a balcony. There's a gazebo, and there's going to be a pergola to the right of once you exit that main door. It's a master bed up there with a master bathroom, more like a master suite with a bathroom, master closet, a nice size closet. It has a living area, which is pretty huge. And also back to that second floor, the second floor has a kitchen as well. So it will be separated as if the second and third is one unit. And then the first floor will become a 2-bedroom and a 1-bedroom apartment. A 2-bedroom apartment, a 1-bedroom apartment, or some form of a studio if I don't feel like putting on the addition. Any given way, my plan is to try to get majority of it done before Christmas. Once I'm completed, I will show you guys the full update and what it looks like. But for now, I am taking my time, more like we're taking our time, but really it's my project. So my husband give me full, hands. It's my project. He don't really have a hand in it. He just work and help do things if I need him to go down there and, if I cannot make it for myself. But other than that, it's my baby. It's my responsibility. A lot of the time, people tell you can't do something. Yes, you can. You could do anything you want to do. A lot of people are afraid to go back to Jamaica. At times, it's no lie. I cannot come up here and pretend like I don't see it or I don't feel it sometimes when I hear the stuff that's happening. And you wonder, like, is it the right thing to do? But here in the United States, it's just as bad as anywhere else. So it's not going to stop me from building. It's not going to stop me from wanting to go home. The cost of things also is scary because the materials are going up. Well, they're not so bad. They actually fell from last year, but from the COVID and everything kind of like went skyrocket, like twice the price in some instant. Like the steel went up, like doubled, and then now it's down again. So that's a good thing. The blocks also reasonable again. Well, I wouldn't say reasonable, but affordable to some degree because last year was really bad. So was the steel, the mix, the mall. The cement, I could say the cement pretty much, it goes up like 100 or 2 here and there, but it's not so bad as the rest of things that you would need after the whole building is completed, which is your fixtures, your your decoration, whatever, fandangles as I call them, because I'm telling you, they could cost. Your tiling is one thing that will take a lot of your money. So make sure if you're going to do your tiling, you pick exactly what you want and try your best to pace yourself if you don't have money on hand like that. Do not try to overdo it. Try to cut back where it's necessary, but not for the integrity of your building. Your building is serious, so don't try to cut back and steal to say don't put this there. Let everything that needs to get done on your building get done, but just be careful when it comes on to choosing the men that you have working for you. The laborers, if you do use a contractor, if you use a tradesman, in my instance, if you're using electrician, plumbers, you have to be careful who you pick. Try to use people that already other people could give reference on, like, say they use them already, or you see that, oh, I heard he worked on that building, or he built or helped build that building, whichever way. So as far as I know, in my head, it was like I always use people that I feel like I could rely on. A few of them let me down here and there, but the majority of the time I did get lucky. I will not sit up here and say I haven't got bitten quite a few times where my husband had to step in and be the one to take the bites for me. Because as a woman, you talk, it's like bark. But when my husband step in, he's biting. So that's different. And when if you're a woman building, all I could tell you is try to be firm, stern, and get things in writing nowadays than I took my chances before. But now I would tell anyone, hey, try your best to get it in writing. Even though they're not contractors, you could still get all things on paper. I would advise anyone to just get it written down, get it signed by them. Any agreements you have going on, make sure it's written up. Because a lot of people feel like because they're not contractors, they don't have to sign or agree to anything. Yes, they do. Once you're handing money over to people, make sure that you definitely sign some agreement. And anyways, thank you guys for watching. If you reached this far in the video, please consider liking, sharing, and subscribing. God bless. And everyone, if you're thinking about building, if you're thinking about buying, it's nothing wrong with either or. All you have to do is just take your time, move at your own pace.